Hello and welcome to another episode of Agri Art. Within ancient Indian murals, there are human and animal figures with depicted scenes of hunting, dancing, and other features of tribal life. These were and are still being found within the Indian regions of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Kerala. My apologies for the poor pronunciation. These art pieces are dated between the 10th millennium BCE and the 10th century CE. Artifacts within the India-Pakistan regions of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa have traces of natural pigments and styles found in pre-Aryan art. The Ajanta cave art was later found to be from the 2nd century BCE. It is this art that is a prominent source of Indian art from the 2nd century BCE onward. As of right now, the link between pre-Aryan art and Ajanta art could not be determined. What is known is that this tradition carried on until the late 19th century, early 20th century. The mural tradition was ultimately restored after India's independence in 1947. During the post-independence era, a revival of the mural tradition in Kerala took place, as major temples of Kerala came under indirect control of the local government, and the restoration and maintenance was supported by public funds. This movement strictly adheres to 16th century muralists and their work, both in murals and in writing. As a consequence, the current muralists only use products derived from plants and minerals. Dr. T.S. Nair studied the Sanskrit texts utilized by this movement to learn about the plant materials utilized in the making of these murals, and here are the results. The murals were painted on the surface of granite, or laterite, and were plastered with lime and sand, a mixture of a 1:2 ratio. The fruit of the black myrobalan is crushed and boiled, with this extract being mixed with coconut milk and lime sand mix to create a unique plaster. This plaster became the base of which the mural is painted. The outlines are made from mineral derivatives found in rivers and hills. However, several of the pigments are made using plant-based material. The color blue is made using true indigo by crushing the leaves into water and filtering out the liquid to acquire the sediment. This can then be dried into a powder that can be used as a blue pigment. The creation of green dye requires the use of gamboge bark, or more specifically, the sap found within it. This is made by mixing true indigo dye with this extract to make green dye. The green dye ranges in intensity depending on the ratio of both ingredients. Green and blue dyes of this type are prone to distortion when painted on lime. As a result, diluted mandarin juice is used to limit this problem. The base adhesive that allows for the dye to be painted on the wall is a sap from the neem tree. This sap is mixed with the desired dye to make the paint. There is of course an exception to this rule. Since the green pigment is made from gamboge sap, the overarching effect is the same, so no extra sap is added into the mix. These dyes, and the resulting paints made from them, are not as efficient as modern paints, and as a result, these pigments, with the exception of black, need to be applied multiple times to obtain the required effect. Black dye is made from sesame seed oil, soaked cotton wicks, which are then burned. The ash is then used to make the black pigment. These are the primary colors in lime murals. Upon the completion of the mural, a mix of sesame seed oil and sap from the longleaf Indian pine is used to create a special shellac-like substance to cover the mural, to improve the shine and increase the durability of said mural. Hello, I just want to let you know, if you want to fund this channel, you can do so on the platforms seen in the description below. There was a wood age in the culture of Kerala at the time when wood was the chief base where murals were made on wood walls. Wood is a very different material than stone, and the normal dyes that work on stone do not work as well on wood. As a consequence, different dyes have to be made to make a wood wall mural work. Mineral dyes used in stone murals have to be replaced with plant dyes, specifically the colors white, yellow, and red. The white pigment is chiefly derived from the root of the alligator yam, which is crushed in water, and the resulting mess is filtered using a cotton cloth, which is then allowed to dehydrate in an earthen pot. The remaining powder is used to make a white dye. A similar process is used to extract turmeric essence to make yellow dye. Red dye is extracted from the Indian redwood by taking chunks of the hardwood and boiling these chunks in water to extract the dye. The liquid is then evaporated, and the remaining powder is used as a red dye. The adhesive utilized for stone walls is the same one utilized for wood walls. The Agri art is compared to the 16th century art. Several trends can be seen. The Agri art mostly relied on mineral-based paint. Powdered rocks and straw were the primary implements to apply said paint. With the passage of time, however, rock and straw were replaced with sand and cotton, and the peoples began to rely more on plant-based pigments versus mineral-based pigments. Another big shift was a shift in the colors utilized in the paintings. The Agri murals mostly used blue, orange, brown, green, and purple pigments. By 16th century CE, from which modern murals are derived from, the colors were shifted to red, yellow, off-white, and black pigments. And so even in the realm of tradition, change still happens. We'll now conclude with a list of murals painted over the centuries, and that about covers everything. Thank you for watching.